Here with Cardinals lefty starting pitcher Quinn Mathews ahead of Thursday's game as we chat with him pregame here. Quinn, two-time pitcher of the week in the Florida State League. How does that feel?
I mean, it's obviously an honor just that the league recognized what I did those 2 weeks. But, I mean, truthfully, just trying to get better every week, trying to learn from even the weeks that you do pitch well, what you didn't do well in those weeks because you're never perfect. So, I mean, ultimately, the first 4 weeks of the season for me have been, kind of up and down and just trying to learn from it.
Now, is there something about pitching on the road that might be a little bit easier? It seems like you've lit it up on the road, but maybe here at home things, get ahead in the walks and whatnot. Do you have a distinct feel of pitching on the road versus at home, or is that just an anomaly?
I mean, I definitely don't think it's an anomaly. I would say for whatever reason, I kind of enjoy the opposing fans, people cheering against me versus, rooting for me. I enjoy that a little more, but honestly, the first week, fixed some things in week 2. The third week, had some different problems that I fixed in week 4. So hopefully I've kind of ironed out a lot of those things that I didn't do well the first and the third week, and that it's not just a repetitive cycle of, pitching poorly and then pitching well.
What do you think is the most important thing that you focus on when trying to get ahead in hitters and necessarily rack up the strikeouts instead of the walks?
I think just attacking early, trusting the stuff has been the biggest thing that, like I said, I've learned the first 4 weeks of pro ball. Just going right at hitters and basically seeing, what they can do against my stuff. And, good hitters will hit good pitches sometimes. And unfortunately, that's just baseball and you have to live with that. I can't be too fine all the time, And also just overthrowing at times, the breaking ball, especially the slider, the third week of the season was pretty detrimental for my outing in terms of the walks and the command overall. And honestly, the pitch count, not pitching deep enough into the games. So I think that's just the biggest thing, is just trusting my stuff and working with Gio on a couple of those little things that he's seeing and I'm feeling throughout the week into the following week.
Now at Stanford, you're very much accustomed to pitching on Friday, and that seems to be the pattern that you're pitching here on Fridays for the Palm Beach Cardinals. Do you think that makes it a much easier transition from college to pro ball, knowing that you're for the most part pitching just 1 day a week and that you've been accustomed to going deep into games, throwing lots of pitches?
Yeah, I mean, I only pitched on Fridays my senior year at Stanford. I actually came out of the pen and didn't really know when I was pitching my junior year. So that difference in schedule, hasn't really affected me as much in pro ball just because we do have, the six starters, the seventh day with the off day. So, that's been nice. I would say just in terms of the physical recovery aspect of it all, it makes it a little bit easier. But, I don't think it's any different. If it was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, whatever day of the week, obviously I'd be ready to go. And like I said, it's fortunate we have 5 other really good starters behind me who make it a lot easier in terms of the recovery period and the 7 days that we normally were accustomed to in college and right now in pro ball at Palm Beach.
This is my last question for you. Is there anything that you continue to work on specifically, whether that be just adding a pitch or just strengthening your current pitches? Is there something that you're trying to mix in as you continue to develop here in pro ball? Because with the way that you're pitching right now, as much as we love to have you here, you keep pitching like this, you won't be here for long. But so is there something that you're continually just specifically trying to improve on, or maybe an exact pitch or what?
Yeah, I'm not looking too far into the future. Obviously, whatever happens will happen when it's supposed to happen, and that's, kind of how I take that day by day. Just truthfully going to enjoy my time down here, and, Palm Beach is a beautiful area. The guys are great, the coaches are great, so I'm just enjoying that aspect of it all and not really looking into it. And then in terms of arsenal, just getting, I'd say, more comfortable with what I have. I'm obviously a different pitcher than I was when I got drafted, and even, probably at the end of last year when I was starting to build up again. So, just getting accustomed to, what I have, pitch usage, pitch type, how the ball's moving, the velocity behind it. All of that's probably the biggest thing, just week by week, trying to build off of what I've done, what the pitches are doing, getting more consistent with stuff, and just trying to pitch my game and not do too much at times.
Two-time Florida State League Pitcher of the Week, Quinn Mathews, nice enough to give us a few minutes of his time. Quinn, thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate your time, and go Palm Beach Cardinal today.